It is week 3 of money-making season. I think I'm down 8 units on the season, but that's why I'm not hosting. I'm just here to spit out some fucking guys that I think will suck or be good today.
Yeah, Glau. Tradition.
Starting with the game of the week. Ravens at Dallas.
Yeah, this is actually an exciting game. I'm going to be honest. 0-2, favored. 1.5.
I mean, they're desperate.
You think, you know?
I mean,
how many teams have, made it far going 0-3?
I don't know any. And then next week they play the Bills, and the week after that they play the Bengals.
So Ravens are just chalk for the year.
This is must win.
Yeah, we just call it hey, you're done.
Marlon Humphrey's probably going to get fucking embarrassed today.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb's going to cook them.
NFL Next Gen pros does write-ups on some players. And they just had 3 different write-ups specifically on Marlon and how he's just been astronomically ass this year out of the slot. He's I think he's been targeted on 11 throws and they've completed 7.
He's given a touchdown to X. He's given a touchdown to Tay.
The only interception he had was when they threw it straight to him.
Go ahead and throw up fucking CeeDee Lamb over touchdown today.
Yeah. How you doing, Freddie? How you doing, Jack? Jimothy in here. Jimothy, what was your parlay you made?
Oh God.
I'll be intrigued to know. I do like in this play. Now we're starting to roll. I do like in this play Lamar Jackson higher than 15 or 14.5 rushing yards for him to hit the 15 mark. I think is going to be a good number for us, right? Dallas's run defense and contain has been horrible. They've allowed the 4th most yards before contact in the entire league this year. And even after contact, they've allowed the 3rd most yards after contact. So before contact, they're horrible. And then after contact, they might be worst.
And this wasn't even I was looking at it's a 2-game sample size, and a lot of people might think it's skewed by Kamara, which it definitely is. But Jerome Ford got 20 fantasy points against this Dallas defense as well. And the Browns offense is dog shit. So it's against everyone. Kamara put it to the extreme, but it's bad in general.
What do you think of this over-under? I feel feels high to me. Where are you at with it?
For the game total?
Yeah, 47.5.
It's definitely a little high. Ravens
offense, I feel just to me hasn't been anything spectacular.
I definitely think, it's not crazy if this ends up being a 28-24 game, and that ain't even enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be enough.
That'd
and
be
that's
just over.
Not that insane of a high-scoring game, but the whole trend of this season has just been there hasn't been many shootouts.
Yeah. It's also Jamaica versus this O-line. Could be
bad.
Luckily,
though, Lamar is just fucking...
Yeah, that's why we like the rushing total of over 14.5 there. Out of comments doing how you fellas feeling. Jalen Naylor over 2.5 receptions and Nico over 13 fantasy points. That feels like a good slip. If the Ravens start 0-3, can we say Lamar is overrated? I think it's just their O-line. I think a lot of it has to do with how bad their O-line is. But we'll move on to the next game. Let me change.
This team would be 0-17 without Lamar. He's the only reason they're half decent. Yeah, the TV making us look pixelated is destroying my eyes.
Yeah, the TV's rough. We might have the woke game of the week, but sneaky, in my opinion.
209, nice.
Sneaky shootout? I love it. Low key.
I don't know if I could see Minshew getting a shootout.
Looking at the numbers, right? Panthers, we know, objectively bad on everything. Every metric you see, every metric you have is trash. But the Raiders run 20% man coverage in a 1-high shell. They run a 33% coverage in a 3-high zone. Andy Dalton came in for 1 game last season against the Seahawks, if you remember. Threw for 361 yards against those Seahawks. In that game, they ran 1-high shell. For 81% of the game, he had 285 yards and 3 touchdowns.
It's a different coach, though.
Different coach, but I think you look at what Dave did with Baker, with Geno, and made these solid quarterbacks, but nothing fantastic, suitable enough to where they can throw for these numbers. And I think Andy's good enough to where he will be able to fit right almost in that field of like it's only 200 yards. You know,
on a little Dalton over.
Dalton, a little Dalton over.
I'm down. I have Panthers money line. Panthers plus 3.5.
Love it. Let's go.
Panthers are one of my locks,
on the Panthers train this week. Let's fucking go. Yeah, no, I mean 5.5 feels far again. Dalton's now. I think a lot of it, like you look at the film that you see all the time, even just like on the clips of Adam Thielen booty butt naked, Deontay Johnson booty butt naked, and Bryce just could not hit him. I think Andy's able to make those throws. Now, do I think he's going to throw for 400 fucking yards? No, but 210 yards feels like a low spot.
If you're the Panthers, what do you want? Like, do you want Dalton to come in and look good?
Yeah, absolutely.
I would love to win a game. That'd be really
Young's
cool.
Fucking dog shit.
I think Bryce Young has to just like sit and marinate.
Yeah,
and I think most college quarterbacks should honestly be sitting. I just don't think that's the way the NFL works anymore. But like, I think you want Andy Dalton to kind of carry this team, and hopefully Bryce Young learns a thing or two from it.
What it's looked like from all the reports I've read and everything, it seems like they're going to end up sitting Bryce for most of the rest of the regular season. Depending on how the season plays out, he might come back in at the end of the season. But I think getting this offense on tape for him to go back and look at would benefit him so much. Of like a good, efficient version of this offense.
The way he like moves in the pocket,
horrible.
Is just, like
it's so bad,
so slow. Like he looks like he's looking at things in slow mo. Like it's kind of cool, but it doesn't work.
No, not at this level either. It's also he likes to escape outside the backside of the pocket, which in the NFL you just like can't fucking do. Yeah. You got to be the next level. But
I also think the Raiders are frauds. Like it's the perfect time to fade the Raiders after a big win against Baltimore, which, I think is a little – I think it was a little fluky more than it was like, oh, the Raiders are legit.
I agree with that logic, but not against possibly the worst team in the league. Like, if they were playing, like, just even someone a little bit better, I'd agree with that, but I still think the Raiders get the dub in this.
Fair. I do think it's like one of the most polarizing things. You look at this matchup and you're either like, dude, Andy Dalton can carry this team, or you're like, the Panthers are still the worst team in the NFL.
Yeah. We'll find out really fast. Which side of that we're on?
Is that what I look like on screen right now? Or is it just our screen that looks glitchy?
Us, hopefully.
Okay, dope.
Moving
on to the next. Ooh.
I'm so in on DJ over.
I got DJ touchdown.
DJ this week feels
he has a big week.
It feels like the lockiest lock. I have numbies here that I want to rip off, but you can yap in the meantime.
Usage.
Yeah, no, he's had 8 and 10 targets in the first 2 games. Only ended up with 11 receptions. So again, you see the target numbers. Without Keenan Allen, he's run 99% of routes. So it's like he's on the field 24/7. This Indianapolis Colts defense is just horrible.
Rich starting 0-3.
Nah, he can't. Here's the thing. I don't think the Colts are definitely worse than I thought they were going into the season, but I don't think either of these teams can start 0-3.
Well, the Bears got a dub.
That's what I mean. They got their dub, so now they feel like a 1-2 team right now, and so do the Colts. So
the Bears might feel like the most fraudulent 1-win team. Like they've looked horrible.
Sure. They shouldn't have caught that win
they were
against Tennessee.
Also a drive away from being 2-0.
Yeah,
it goes both ways.
Dude, my notion is just not working for me to pull.
You know what's kind of weird about the Colts? I feel like they should be running the ball better than they are. Like, it feels like they want to be, like, a pass-first team.
Yeah. I still think, we got a long ways to go, but I was really expecting JT to, be a top 5 fantasy back right now.
For sure. I feel like, aren't the Bears kind of beatable on the ground?
They're beatable, for sure. I wouldn't say that's the way you'd want to go with it, but
Pollard kind of ran on them.
Yeah. I feel like their secondary is sick as fuck.
I think Pollard had a really good day, though, simply because of how much Tennessee had the ball. Chicago was 3 and out.
Fair.
That defense was on the field the entire game. But here's some numbers that I have for you, all according to Next Gen Stats. Deep passing, Indianapolis ranks 25th in the league. Short passing, they rank 31st in the league. Intermediate passing, 29th. So they're bottom 7 defense in almost all of the main passing metrics. And off play action, which Chicago runs the 3rd most in the league, they're 28th in the league at defending that. So it's you look at those numbers, DJ should cook this secondary. The Colts are still banged up. And also, the Colts don't bring any pressure. Like literally none.
Like they don't blitz or they don't get home with
both. They have right now their front four this year only has seen 27% of pressure, leaving them at 20th in the league. And Caleb last week faced a ton of pressure, 23 on 48 dropbacks, which led him to only have 4 air yards per target. I don't think that happens again. I think if they're only seeing 27% of the pass rush, then I think Caleb will have more time, be able to kind of get more comfortable, and be able to really develop routes just a little bit more, and DJ is going to be a beneficiary of that. Again, he still had 53 yards last week.
DJ like to the moon. Like I wanted to 100%. Trade for him so bad in our fantasy league.
That was a good time to buy DJ Moore in fantasy.
But like Sexy sharp, like he knows.
Sexy knows
for sure. Sexy was also like super high on DJ Moore, so even if he came down a little bit, still feels like he's probably higher than.
Like you ain't getting it for Waddle.
No.
But 43.5 over in this game. That's another lock.
Over?
Oh yeah, I feel like Caleb will be able to throw the ball. Colts will be able to run it. I think there's going to be a lack of defense in this one. A Rich tug, DJ Moore tug.
Kind of like JT rushing touchdown just because it's vultured.
Like, yeah. On underdog, it's nice. On regular books, it's like minus 140.
Yeah, that I probably.
But underdog, you get that safety if A Rich scoots in.
That's fucking beauty.
That's gas. This one, another beauty.
This is a disgusting game.
No, we have nothing but beauties this week.
Yeah, this week feels great for a betting perspective.
It's week 3. All teams still have hope.
Facts.
Even
the Panthers. And we go 1-2. Oh, we'll be live.
Yep.
Playoffs to the moon. Imagine Baltimore is 0-3 and the Panthers have a win.
Nah, there's no way Baltimore goes 0-3. I'm putting everything on Baltimore money line.
Unless
everything's insane.
Anyway, Denver here against Tampa Bay. Low key, I think this is going to be a closer game.
Yeah,
than most expect. Yeah. Like 6.5 feels.
Bucks defense is just like too banged up to be this big.
I have a list of everybody like on the D line that's going to be out, and it's actually crazy. They have no one starting on their fucking D line that's in. It is Vita Vea is out, William Golson's out, Logan Hall's out, Kalijah Cansey's out.
Isn't Winfield out too?
Winfield, yeah, he's also out. So we have 5 players on the defense.
Anybody that I've ever heard on their defense is out.
They did beat Detroit with a banged up D, so like.
Yeah, true.
Who knows?
But that's why I like Javante's highest, his longest rush this week. He's played 2 top 5 rushing defenses, according to the analytics, in Seattle and Pittsburgh. So I think, again, against a banged-up team, no D-line, really, no Vita Vea, most importantly. I think he can scramble for a quick 13-yard rush. All he needs is 1 rush for the rest of our lives.
There we go.
From him to get this. So
I haven't taken it yet, but I saw Chris Godwin plus 155 to score a tug. That felt kind of good.
Yeah, that feels good.
Mike Evans should get Surtain. Godwin should be naked, running freely.
I don't know if I describe him as naked.
I feel like they have no one else to put on Godwin.
I feel like their pass defense is just pretty good all around.
Nah, dude, Baker's him, though.
Baker's proven himself this year that he don't even need no coach. It's just him.
I also feel like 40.5 is kind of a low total. I actually got it earlier in the week in the like 39.5. But doesn't it feel like Broncos should be able to do some damage with this banged up Bucs defense, and then of course like the Broncos defense is just kind of fucking ass?
Yeah,
I don't know if Bo Nix has do damage in his bag.
Like, not at all.
Bad.
But this defense might be super bad.
He still threw for over 200 yards versus the Steelers. And you have to remember, like, against the Steelers, they had 5 drops, which is insane.
Yeah. Steelers also a good defense. Steelers is a massive, better defense than this one.
I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be Denver's throwing up 25 plus points, but I think they can keep the score low enough from a Tampa Bay offensive perspective to where it's like a 17-20 game, a 17-14 type of score.
17-20 ain't gonna cut the over.
Yeah, I don't know if it gets to 40.
I'm saying low 40s. I like the over here.
J-Mo's so like unrested by this.
Yeah, I haven't taken a single total in my life, so I don't fucking know. I'm just yapping.
All right, we'll move on to the next game. We keep it pushing. Next game I'm excited for.
Broncos sneaky dogs though. They're barking dogs.
I think they could be on upset watch.
This game,
Detroit's for show winning.
Yeah, 100%. I like that we're on the same page with that.
Yeah.
Total 51. This Arizona offense is
50 was high.
Yeah.
This is what it was last week for Lions Bucks, and that disappointed like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
That was like 20-16 final score.
Yeah. But
anytime the Lions are in a game, it's like 50.
Yeah. Also, Cardinals. Cardinals are a huge over team.
Yeah.
Coming off.
Massive.
They're going to be the perfect like offense to be invested in just because their defense is going to give up fucking scores. Like, they're just going to have to keep scoring.
Yeah, that's why I took the Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, I'm going to take the Jahmyr Gibbs vulture every single week because him or Monty is going to get in the end zone.
Like, the fact that they didn't last week, or Monty did, but like...
Yeah, so it's still vultured. Like, it's still...
It's a lock. It's so safe.
One of them is going to get...
Safe bet.
Like
in the entire industry.
Like Underdog, really here's the thing: Underdog, like with certain split backfields, it doesn't have a vulture. Like with
Monty himself doesn't have vulture.
No, Monty doesn't have one. Like the Dallas backs don't have one just because it's so split, and they didn't really, I guess, know who to give it to. Where like, why would you give it to a team that you know it's like guaranteed lock to run one in the end zone every single week?
It is weird. It feels like Monty should have the vulture more than Gibbs.
Yeah, 100%.
You're only going to give it to one lineback, but whatever.
I guess they just picked like whoever's the RB1 depth chart or whatever it is, and then just went from there.
Timothy said, "Is Jared Goff back to Rams Goff?" Thoughts?
Ooh, big distance. Nah, I just think it's week 2 of the season, and nobody played preseason. Like teams are probably still warming up.
Well, my question here is, when do you think quarterbacks? This is more of a broad question, not as much a betting question. When do you think all these quarterbacks that are like at their ceilings right now are gonna like come back down to earth?
Who's at their ceiling?
Like the Derek Carrs, Baker's playing out of his mind.
Derek Carr's not at the ceiling. Derek Carr's just exploring a new atmosphere.
Flip back to your old self within a month, so fast.
But like my question is, when do you think that like hits? Like, is it week 3? Is it like you can have it all the way to week 6?
I'm trying to think back to last year. I feel like there was a couple guys that
Mike off your forehead.
just
okay.
That's my thinking.
outside of Derek Carr, who do you think's like playing at their ceiling right now? It feels.
I
like
think Baker right now is going like having a crazy fucking year.
Okay. Maybe Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold playing at his he's another one. I think Jared Goff right now is at his floor. He could pick it up. You know, like players like that. Vice versa, obviously.
Yeah.
Like Jalen Hurts hasn't played well. Can he pick it back up? Stuff like that, where it's like Gardner Minshew's playing nuts. Like, is he gonna come down?
Is Gardner Minshew actually playing that well though?
He's got like the second most passing yards.
Yeah,
really?
It's like kind of an empty calorie stat, but
it is
calorie quarterback.
Yeah. Empty
is it just the Raider quarterback who's empty calorie?
I definitely think it's gonna be very soon where everyone's gonna go back to where like Allen, Hurts, Lock, Lamar,
to his dad,
even
cut down the league.
Yeah, he's a fucking pussy.
But like Mahomes isn't even like throwing the ball down the field anymore.
It's crazy. They added Xavier Worthy.
They just straight up don't need to.
I also think defenses are just turning into like this bend don't break shit where it's like we just don't want to give up explosive plays. Like we're gonna make quarterbacks dink and dunk and beat us that way. Yeah. And so I feel like teams like the Chiefs are just accepting it, and then there's other teams who can't fucking adapt to it.
Yeah. That's kind of like what Jamar and Joe Burrow used to do, just fucking huck it. And
vertical routes. Jamar this year's ran 22 vertical routes, only completed 2 of them. Yeah. So.
Like, that was their thing.
Yeah, that was their thing. But they have he's a great matchup versus Washington this week.
Yeah.
Washington's I knew Washington was bad at pass defense, but until I looked at all the numbers, I didn't realize how bad they actually are. They give up 8 more passing touchdowns on vertical routes than the next closest team.
It's weird because maybe they just don't have the bodies on Washington, but like Dan Quinn, I feel like just as a DC is real nice, and then he goes to a head coaching job and he can't figure shit out.
No, he's like shambles.
Maybe it's a personnel thing, but I also feel like Dallas didn't have they had Parsons, and I guess Diggs is cool, but like it didn't feel like
Diggs year 1. I feel like wasn't like elite. Like he wasn't
the
good.
Fucking got
they got nothing.
They got Emmanuel Ford.
But they also didn't help themselves. Like this offseason, they signed like Bobby Wagner.
The Cowboys?
No, Commanders.
Oh, right.
And like Zach
Bobby
Ertz,
Wagner, the fucking Commander?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, he is.
Damn.
Like they just looking at PFF fucking stats. Yeah. Like I know Zach Ertz probably had some nice PFF stats
for sure.
Last year.
The revenge game.
Is it locked? He's playing.
Yeah.
Love's out.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's in next week. I'm kind of, to be honest, I'm kind of glad they gave him one more week.
Yeah, totally. I think you can sneak a win against the Titans without Jordan Love. There's no reason to risk your entire season on a week 3 game against the Titans.
So underrated.
This defense is like, if you go by numbers, they are the number 1 pass defense. They're the number 3 run defense.
Like Levis is just a fat bat.
Yeah.
No,
like,
and dude,
they're a quarterback away from being like actually good.
Yeah. I think
Stafford
Levis
to the Titans next year.
Yo, Bryce to the Titans would be crazy.
Dude, Stafford throwing to D-Hop and Ridley, just like a nice.
D-Hop ain't making it one more.
D-Hop might be gone.
No. D-Hop's gonna take it easy this year because he knows he's getting Stafford next year.
You don't think Treylon Burks is gonna merge?
Dude, Stafford
Year
would probably
4?
make Treylon Burks work. But this defense. I know it's nice. I know it's cool and everything. But I think Will Levis, like you guys have been saying, just like shuts down this whole operation.
So bad.
He's pretty fucking.
Like
I wanted him to be good.
Me too.
I think the under hits again this week, like it did last week, where it's just like a 14-10. Like
I could totally see
I
it.
think the Packers lose this. Like the Titans are going to be able to stop Josh Jacobs, and then they're cooked.
I really want to bet on the Packers. I actually have, but I'm not feeling great about it because it feels like the Packers are starting to become a pretty public dog here.
Yeah,
where everyone's like, and me included, but like they're like, the Packers were able to beat the Colts last week with Malik Willis. Why can't they beat the Titans?
No.
It's Devondre Sweat. Devondre Sweat's going to be next like Vita Vea. Like, he is so fucking good in the middle. He's the rookie from Texas, their D tackle. He's a massive fucking dude. He is a literal bowling ball just right in the middle of that defense, and it shows.
I mean, Jeffrey Simmons is also fucking.
Yeah, both of them are just fucking nuts. This defense looks very legit. And Malik Willis, the reason I'm taking his under on passing yards, only attempted 14 passes last week versus, I said the numbers earlier in this show, a horrible Indianapolis pass defense, and they still really couldn't get that much rolling. He only attempted 8 yards per pass, which if he only attempts 14 passes and he were to complete all of them, he still wouldn't even hit this number. I don't think he's going to see anywhere to 18 to 20 attempts. They clearly don't trust him to throw the rock. They want to keep everything short right in front of him. The only way I think he hits this over is like if Jaden takes a screen 50 fucking yards.
Yeah, but I don't even that. Like Snead's probably just gonna be on him.
Yeah, like
I like the Titans a lot.
Tennessee runs a ton of man, and that's because they're good at it and they have the players to do it.
I do kind of like Willis in this spot though, just because I think LaFleur puts him in the best situation to succeed.
So good.
He's definitely on that level of like a McVay Shanahan, and I feel like I don't know if he exactly gets the credit I think he deserves, and maybe it's just because he was with Aaron Rodgers for so many years that it's just like we kind of discount him a little bit. But I put LaFleur in that Shanahan category where coach, yeah, for sure.
We need a mod so we can just ban that guy.
Like he'll eventually have his own tree. I feel like.
For sure.
Of guys that come out under him. His defensive coordinator will probably never come from him, but
yeah, offensively though, he'll be
someone that's got
can't pick a DC to save his life.
No. Like I would probably go like McVay, Shanahan, Reed, them three in somewhere, and then LaFleur might be number 4.
Mm-hmm. I like it. In some aspects, I would even take like LaFleur over Shanahan. There's certain things about Shanahan that piss me off.
Yeah. One of my favorite coaching trees is the Vikings.
Dude, yeah, Kevin O'Connell, and unlike LaFleur, Duke can pick a DC.
Flores is so fucking good.
He might be who's a better DC right now than Flores?
I mean, if we want to go to Vic, maybe, but
Vic Fangio?
I think I would lean
not.
Flores.
Vic Fangio is so cooked.
I think he's kind of washed.
Vic Fangio was nice on the Niners, and I kind of think he's still living off those.
He was
times.
nice when he was the first coach to really run cover 6.
The weird thing is though, I feel like people are trying to emulate Vic, but Vic himself is not very good. Because he was the one who I feel, maybe I'm wrong on this, but like I feel like he was the one who started this bend don't break shit.
The Chiefs DC is good.
Spags is great. Spags is real good.
I even think the Bengals guy is underrated. Lou
Anarumo. He's kind of
like they have no talent, and he's still making
like
it work.
losing Shadobi, Awuzie, and didn't they lose something else?
They lost Von Bell 2 years ago, who's solid. And then this year they also just lost Geno Stone.
That might have been. This year they got.
They got Geno Stone.
Either way, he's good.
Yeah,
I like Lou.
Tripping. Brandon
Brian
Staley.
Flores feels like he'll fuck up fraudulent quarterbacks, which kind of makes me worried about Purdy last week, but it's okay. We move on.
Yeah, like I would argue Minnesota doesn't have much talent on defense.
Oh, Yeah.
Like, there's a couple guys, but, like, losing Daniil Hunter, like, I don't think they have, like, a great corner.
I think they definitely got more guys than they had last year.
It's like, I think they got more guys to fit floors, but there's no, like, star power. Like, I can't name many guys on
Well, like, Harrison Smith is playing like he's in his prime again.
Fair.
He's always
he's
fucking
always
good. Like, he's one of those guys you just don't talk about because he's just always the same.
He's got to be like 33, 34.
Dude, you could have told me Harrison Smith retired this offseason. I would have believed you.
He's old.
And then he was just everywhere against the Niners.
Nah, he cooks.
This game.
Oh, Jesse Bates left Bengals.
That was a couple years ago, though.
Yeah. Oh, that was last year.
No, it wasn't. He's been on Nick's Falcons for
last year's his first year in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Anyways, this game I feel like I have the Texans -1 because they just
it's only 1.5. As much as we were hyping up the Vikings, I'm still going Houston.
Doesn't it feel weird?
That
like,
feels
if the
like
Texans drop this game.
Is it because Mixon's out? Is that big of a difference?
No, I just think people are really coming around to this Vikings defense, and then Sam Darnold doesn't look bad.
Everyone is hopping on Darnold's Schmeat.
Yeah,
that is what it is.
For sure.
Like, he's gonna do exactly what he did with the Panthers. Look elite through 3 weeks. Week 4, throw 3 picks for 100 yards and have 2 pick sixes.
Again, Kevin O'Connell's one of those guys. He's probably gonna get near Sam Darnold's ceiling. I don't know if that's like even a good ceiling, but man, Texans I just think are so good.
O'Connell's good. Like, everyone under, like, the whole league's gonna be a McVay Shanahan tree.
For
like,
sure.
How do you
Who's
separate yourself? Like,
you
if you all came from the
differentiate?
same motherfucker,
Who's gonna be the new
you're gonna
guy?
come down to the Hardballs, just standing strong together.
I will say the under I think is definitely in play. I have the under 46.5, right? Texans have a great D. We were just hyping up B-Flow. The Sunday night
50
game.
of total. It's a little bit better.
Man.
Is there any chance the Falcons go 2-1 and win this?
Man, I don't know. They probably should be 0-3.
Kirk looked good. I'm definitely still picking the Chiefs, but
Yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit about it, but Chiefs' offense doesn't feel totally right yet. It's kind of weird because they played in preseason.
But that's like kind of what's like last year. They're like, what was it, halfway through the season? People were out on the Chiefs.
Oh yeah,
and it's like they go through lulls. Like, it's just.
I feel like last year was the entire year. Everyone was like, "Oh, they're just not going to do it again."
Yeah, like they're gonna
even
be fine.
we got to playoffs, and I still didn't really believe in them.
No.
Yeah, like they're 2-0 without the offense clicking. Like
they'll be fine. They'll be fine. And that's the thing. And you also have to like. I feel like Kirk, as much as like that last drive looked fantastic, throughout the entire game, I feel like he still didn't look quite right. And now you're going against a Spags defense, a Chiefs defense that looks solid. Obviously, they struggled a little bit more against Burrow, but I think Burrow's better than Kirk. And it's going to be interesting to see how they really operate. Like, McDuffie's just going to shadow London the entire game, so he's going to be out of the fucking game. And then you have to rely on Darnell Mooney again. Moonstein going for 80 again.
Yeah, Chiefs are definitely winning.
3.5, or is it 3?
It's just 3.
I like it at 3.
I'd probably take the Chiefs.
Yeah. Carson Steele's my play that I have there. Lower on total yard. He ain't catching no fucking passes.
I like Kelsey to score.
I've taken Kelsey to score.
Yeah, I think he's due. Again, I asked you this question earlier, and we can ask it now on live. If Kelsey has a big day, you own Bowers, you own Kelsey. Yeah. Kelsey has a big day this week. Do you look to move one of them?
I mean, I probably should. Like I told you, I think Kelsey and Waddle feels like a pretty decent package. Waddle's obvious, like they're both kind of lows right now.
Yeah, I don't know if you would want to package them because then you might be selling them both at a discount.
Maybe, but like if I could get one elite player, like that might be worth it. Like someone at Andrew who just needs some depth, or even Nick who needs depth. Like
maybe I think your best bet is like hopefully Kelsey has a big game and then you sell him, because I kind of think that. Like we've been saying, like the Chiefs, they play the regular season, I feel like, so different than every other team. I feel like they test shit out. And
he's going to be, like, top 6. Like, I think he'll still end the season around 700 yards.
I think he could, but, like, top 6 isn't a super high bar if you're talking
I made a
fantasy.
list. No. And I sent this to Jack. talking about it, and I can list you
but
guys.
That's still tempted to someone who's got like a Freiermuth, a Goddard. Like that's
For sure.
still an upgrade.
Because we were talking about Andrews. Like I was talking to Andrews with Jack, and I listed off these tight ends of like, who would you take Andrews in fantasy over right now?
You having Andrews as tight end 10 is absurd.
I think he's more like tight end 8, but yeah.
But that is still like so low.
McBride, Laporta, Kincaid, Bowers, Kittle, Kelsey, and then I had Pitts over him. And then I had Andrews.
Yeah,
that's tight end 8.
I wouldn't do it for Pitts. I wouldn't even.
I might take him over Kincaid.
I would probably take him over Kincaid.
I think like that Bills. I think Kincaid looks bad. 'Cause that Bills like they passed.
In there?
Yeah, they passed 5 times at the end of the second half of that game. They passed 5 times versus Miami. Like obviously he's not gonna have a big game there, but he still is heavily involved in this passing offense. I think when they have games where they're gonna need more shootouts, sure, and the middle of the field isn't closed off like it was against Arizona. Like I think we're gonna see him flourish multiple times where Andrews is in a clear split. Where I think Andrews can have some big weeks.
But
Do not get me wrong.
I think Kincaid's split is so much worse because to me it feels like Andrews. He might be splitting a little bit with Likely and like Zay, but that's kind of it in their passing game. The Bills' offense just feels like they'll throw it to fucking anybody.
Also feels like they're just not throwing it that much. This year.
That too.
I mean,
Yeah,
even though
they
maybe
run
that
the
just
most-
makes it even with the Ravens pass game. Now they're on the same level, but still.
They run the most jumbo packages with Cook right now in the entire league. So I get what you're saying about that. But for me, it's just I think tape as well. Andrews just doesn't look like Mark Andrews right now. And I don't know what it is. He's not as sharp. He's not like as quick out of his routes.
Even if he doesn't, though, I just feel like the Ravens are going to have to rely on Mark Andrews this season much more than the Bills are going to have to rely on Dalton Kincaid or what we thought Dalton Kincaid
Either
could be.
way, you swap those two out, you still sitting around tight end 6, 7. Because you have him over Pitts too, he's at tight end 6 there, which is a lot further away than tight end 1 in my opinion. That's the reason I was saying.
I would also probably take Andrews like over Kittle though. Like most of those
really
guys
rest of season you're taking him over Kittle.
Yeah, I mean also Kittle's like now banged up, so it's not even.
I think
now it doesn't even feel close.
Before he got hurt, I had Kittle like top 3.
I thought Kittle would be in for a huge season too. I
still think he comes back though and is like fine.
Right,
like I don't think this is not like a season-ending injury or
even
season really altering. Like I think he's gonna be back in a few weeks. Like
who the Niners play today?
They play the Rams.
Yeah.
I don't even know, but that game's weird too.
I gotta put
another game up. But yeah, Shanahan kind of owns McVay in the regular season.
He does. It's gonna be interesting because it's definitely gonna be like a coaching battle because nobody has players in this game.
Yeah, but like the Niners still got most of their defense.
That's true. Bosa got cleared to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fred
they're
Warner's
gonna have
boy watch.
He deserves.
He's so good.
Something.
This might be my favorite prop of the day. Yo, we need someone to ban that fucking dude. Anyway, this might be my favorite prop of the day. Gus Edwards lower than 11 yards longest rush against Pittsburgh.
Herbie's playing for sure.
I would have to check.
I don't know if it's for sure, which is unfortunate because I did take a lot of charges.
Officially active Justin Herbert. Yep,
Let's go.
Dope. But even if he wasn't playing, I still think Gus does not have a 12-yard rush in his bag.
Yeah.
He had a 6-yard rush against Carolina was his longest, who's arguably the worst rush defense in the NFL.
This is going to suck.
Yeah.
It might end up being 10-3.
I think the Steelers are going to start the year 3-0. Like,
you don't think Chargie's at start 3-0? You don't think Herbie 3-0 start?
I think he's just
one of these teams is going to be the most fraudulent 3-0 team, but it's going to happen.
I know Herbert's just going to lose this one, and I'm going to be able to blame it on his
No. Herbert's not a loser anymore. He's not.
he's losing this one.
I don't think so. To be honest, I kind of just taking the Chargers because they're the dogs, and I think whoever you put as the dog in this game, I'm just going to take. But, I mean, I very much see the way that the Chargers win. I mean, Nick tweeted out something today how these two are like the top 2 rushing teams in the NFL right now. So, if that's the case, like it's anybody's ball game.
Yeah. I just don't like. I feel like they're just J.K. Dobbins has been so fucking good. I don't think he could stay that hot, and I kind of want to see what the offense looks like if he can't fucking carry them.
I mean, as long as he stays healthy, I don't see a reason why he wouldn't be as hot.
I mean, lead the league in rushing yards. Like he's on Sam Darnold, Derek Carr right now.
Yeah, I get. Yeah. He's not gonna like lead the league in rushing, but
I think
like,
JK has like 50 yards today.
Yeah.
I still think it's a solid day, and PPR wise, he'll probably end up with like 7 points, 8 points. But I don't think he's gonna have his normal 100 anymore.
No.
Like
I'm kind of curious what the offense will look like if they can't rely on him.
Yeah, it's gonna be even more interesting because like I can't wait to watch Joe Alt versus TJ. Like I can't wait. It's the most like
he clamps him up. Oh my God, Hall of Famer.
It is the most like niche thing to say of like what matchup I'm most excited for today. But Joe Alt clamped Max.
Is it 1 o'clock or 4?
I think this is 1 o'clock.
This is a 1 o'clock game.
And like I think we all were like, "Oh, Max Crosby's gonna eat him alive week 1," and then Joe Alt just comes out and is like, "No thanks." Now, did he win every rep? No, obviously, but he won way more than Max won, which is like
I'm so excited.
It's funny how Harbaugh was like in the draft process. He was like, Joe Alt's a weapon, and we all kind of laughed at him. Here we are being like, "Yo, watch Joe Alt today.
Yeah, like
He's a fucking weapon."
He is.
He will go down as like the best pick in this draft, and I don't think it will be close unless he tears his ACL or some shit, which we never wish to happen. But that would be the only way in my eyes where he doesn't end up the clear one. We can move on from this trash ass game. We have a few more to rip.
I need the Chargers to come through with a win.
There's a lot of 4 o'clocks. 5 today. Sheesh.
What did you think of last week when like all the games were 1 o'clocks?
Dude, the 10 box was the worst thing ever.
Yeah,
that was fucking disgusting.
Funny as fuck when you said that, being like, "This is my worst nightmare."
It was so bad.
Yeah, Red Zone does too much sometimes when they put like even 3 games is like too much.
And it'll be 3 games where like someone's like in the huddle and the other one's like mid fucking 5-yard line, ball snapped. Like we could take like I don't know.
Yeah, it very
Joe producing on Red Zone or something.
Very rarely do we need a try box.
Yeah,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
An octa box isn't like already too much. The Deca box was too much.
Deca box.
Yeah, that's what it is for 10.
Deca box gonna kill me.
But yeah, this game, Miami, Seattle. I am taking Seattle with all the points in the world.
Yeah, I think that's probably smart.
Feel like a ton.
Like no, I'm taking them. It must be. Like I would take them all the way up to 6.5. Let alone.
Why would they not be touchdown?
I don't because Jalen Ramsey's coming back. Wow.
I guess both of the Seahawks games have been kind of close.
Yeah, but dude, like Skylar Thompson, really? Yeah, also, Miami is a clear.
Could just
actually
carry.
I think yeah, that's true. But I mean, Seattle's been a top 5 running defense. Again, they haven't really played anybody, but that could be interesting in and of itself. But Miami runs a ton of man coverage, 1 high, and you know what fucking Ryan Grubb does? Destroys that. You know what New England ran? 1 high, man coverage with a mix-in of a little bit of cover 3, and DK had 10 catches for 100 yards. JSN had 12 catches for... I don't think JSN's going to have as big of a day, actually, but I think Lockett and I think DK can cook today on that outside. That's why BTJ and Gabe Davis had such a big day versus Miami, or a bigger day, because those outside in-breaking routes are so, like, they just destroy those looks.
To be fair, though, like, Seahawks didn't cover 4.5 against the Pats.
No, fair enough. But, like,
overtime,
they also have a competent quarterback. Like, Skylar, I don't even think is competent.
Yeah, maybe. There's definitely the possibility Seahawks just blow this team
what do you think
of Thompson.
But like, Reek today? Like, is he going to do anything?
Him to score a touchdown is, like, plus 170. Like, it is... Like, you would never get that. Tyreek's one of those few dudes you have to, like, lay money to score a touchdown. And
he's only, like, minus, like, 110.
I just feel like he's also a guy that, like, you have to force feed him the ball. He's like a Devontae Adams. Your quarterback may suck, but you have to get him the ball anywhere on the field, especially in the red zone. Like
61.5 receiving yards also feels a little...
See, yardage I don't know much. I don't feel as good about as like a touchdown, because if they ever get in the red zone, I feel like they're just. I think
he's just gonna get dummy screens, and one of them.
That's fair. Yeah.
Fucking work. It's a good game. Sharp's so fucking bad.
What's going on, Tyler? Yeah,
69 rushing yards for Sharp.
He's the easiest under of all time.
He averages like 2 yards a carry.
He's so bad. Like, he's bad at football.
He's a second-round pick, though.
He's a second-round pick that was 25 when he came in.
38 yards. What is that, like?
Against the Pats?
Yeah.
Pats don't have a bad
You know how we shat on...
Denver, 8 attempts, 12 yards.
But that was with Walker playing, no? But you're saying on average.
Just yeah.
To put in perspective, like, I don't think we talked about it enough. Or, I mean, we weren't even here at the time. But Sharp coming in, like, we shat on Blake Cornwall last year for being old. That was the same exact situation Sharp was in, but just as a worse running back.
Joe's wearing a cutoff, looking massive.
Joe's a fucking dub.
Joe's looking lit.
Joe about to come in and fucking.
He's celebrating that Jets win.
He's got camera arms, dude. Always holding a heavy camera. It's just,
dude, he'll do it to you for show. His wrists are probably nuts.
For sure.
But yeah, I like the Geno over passing. Again, I already talked about one high. Ryan Grubb gonna cook once again. Geno looked really good despite his line struggling last game. Was able to maneuver in the pocket very well. Looked very clean. Made the right reads. Took a lot of checkdowns that turned into big plays. Well, I mean, when you have DK Metcalf and JSN as your checkdowns, that tends to happen. Tyler Lockett was completely irrelevant last game, but I think he'll be more relevant this game. Jalen Ramsey, Schmamsey, I don't give a fuck. Geno over 230 yards.
Do you think Geno eventually comes back down to earth? He feels like he's touching the ceiling, though. Flying a little too close.
I mean, game one, I feel like he struggled.
I don't even think he's really that high.
No.
I mean, compared to last year, he's doing a lot better.
Kinda. I mean, I feel like at the last year he's at the same
But last
pace.
year, I feel like he was low. Like
You think
that was a lull for him. Like, I think 2022 is way too high. QB5. Last year's like QB19. That's low. I think he'll be right around like QB12 this year.
I mean, it's only 2 weeks, but through 2 weeks, he's definitely higher than quarterback 12, isn't he?
It's because he had a 300-yard game last game, sure. But I think, like...
But no one else is having a 300-yard game, are they?
Unless they're Derek Carr.
That's what I mean,
Yeah.
Derek Carr.
It's QB10 right now.
Okay.
I think he'll be roughly around that for
But
sure.
right now, like, Stroud and Mahomes are behind him. That's gotta...
That
will
fix
flip.
itself.
yeah.
That will flip. Jacob Cowington.
But also Baker's a QB1. Oh, my God.
Let's go. Big Bake.
He's coming back down quick.
I know you guys. I didn't talk to you guys about it, but I'm gonna shout this out. We're doing a $200 giveaway.
Dub. Look at that giveaway.
We're doing a $200 giveaway. Wow, it looks 8 on the screen. $200 giveaway. If you sign up on Pickett right now, dial in. We have 336 people in here. We have 336 people that sign up on Pickett using code BDG. Link is in the description. When you do that on Monday night after the games, we're giving away $200 to someone that uses the code and signs up. It is completely free. All you have to do is sign up, use the code. Once you sync your books, you can also track your bets. You can see our bets. You can follow us at Jameson, at Tony No Dimes. Nikki on the other side is Nick Ercolano, and I am my name, Nick Guthrie, on Pickett. Sign up. You'll be entered automatically into the Givey. $200. We'll also be doing it on Twitter, too, if you want the link directly on there before the 1 o'clock games kick off. But, yeah, big dub, big $200. So if you lose all your bets today, you'll make it back right here. Are we entering the giveaway if we sign up on the code like weeks ago? Yes, you'll already be in if you already signed up. So if you already signed up using the code, do not worry.
Make another account for
just make more accounts. Just throw it all on there.
Sign up your mother.
Yeah, sign up your mom, your dad, your kids, your wife, all of them. Sign them up, and if you use the code, you'll be automatically entered. If you already were on Pickett, that's really unfortunate. Make a new account. Figure it out.
Ravens to win for the rest of my life. Oh, I thought you were ending the stream right there, to be honest.
We have 3 more games.
Jesus.
Dub.
All right. We can make this.
Ooh.
Oh, gross.
Dude, I'm not going to lie.
Giants aren't winning.
They're not winning, but 6.5 feels pretty high for a Browns team that
I
don't think it's that great.
Daniel Jones' potential last game.
Oh, dude, yeah. Browns could end this man's career for sure. That's in the realm of possibilities.
Pick up Drew Lock for $0 on Fab right now.
I will say, though, like, I still don't love this Browns offense to where, like, a 6.5, 7-point favorite is territory of, like, you're a legit playoff contender.
You can go
like,
back in the stream and find it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the Browns.
But yeah, no, it's gonna be like. Do you think Deshaun Watson looks good this game? With how bad the Giants secondary is?
He's bouncing back.
Really? Dude, okay, you know what's funny is the other day I was trying to pull clips of me talking shit about Derek Carr to use for idiot league mates, and I found a clip of last year. I don't know what week it was, but we were talking about how bad Deshaun Watson looked a year ago, and you were saying the same thing, like, he'll bounce back.
No,
he'll bounce back.
I've
You've
literally
been saying it for a year.
Have had his back every year he's been back, and he's failed. He's a fucking
But
bot.
next year is going to be the year.
I'm just keep saying it for like a fucking bit at this point.
Yeah, I have the Devin Singletary under in this game, 54.5 rushing yards. Feels just a little bit high versus the Brands.
I've never seen like Deshaun. Every deep ball is like 6 yards out of bounds.
Yeah, it's not even close. It looks like he's just throwing it away.
A catchable football.
No.
Yeah,
Until now.
Until today.
Oh, Amari Cooper, 2-1 odds to score a touchdown. Love that.
Is he a buy low?
100%. 1,000%.
Like,
Dude.
would you rather Waddle or Coop?
Coop. I hate Deshaun Watson. Rather Coop. The other thing, too, is like,
That feels nuts.
I don't want to be like,
Joe Waddle for Amari Cooper?
would you trade Amari Cooper away for Waddle before game start?
Yo, you having the fucking guns out is elite.
Yeah.
He said probably not. That's true. You don't want to double invest in that Miami offense right now.
Yeah, no.
Already has Tyreek.
Smart.
But no, I mean, I'm
Producer
Amari Cooper,
Joe in the building, dub.
I hate to use this reasoning, but like week 1, he probably should have had like a 50-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
If he didn't botch it, like classic Amari Cooper. I don't know. Anyways,
There's something fishy going on with J-Mo's love for Deshaun.
little fishy.
I ain't even fishy. It's just it's open and out there.
But yeah, the spread of this game, Philly Saints, feels almost like trappy. Saints favored 2.5. Total 49.5. I mean, the Saints are just like that?
Dude,
I am
they've
very
looked
excited for
so
this
much.
game.
I am too. They've looked so much better to me than the Eagles. But
That's why I think that's why it almost makes me want to go with the Birds.
If they
Fair.
somehow drop 40 again, all in. Take all my chips.
So you
And
need
he's
to
just-
see it. You need to see it one more time. If
Three in a row.
if they did what they did to the Cowboys to the Eagles,
Yeah.
you're now on the same page.
You're Derek Carr in?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
You're like
they're
Derek
not.
Carr QB1 season?
they're not.
Who did they play week 4?
After this,
I thought you
have
just
no
said
idea.
3 weeks is all you need.
Yeah.
Now you're like
Just
looking up
wanna
week
see the
4.
schedule. Falcons.
Play the-
I'm still pretty hesitant around them. They're not dropping 40 today.
I mean, that's always.
So which
that's
side would you
always hard
take? If
as
you were to
fuck.
take a side, who are you taking?
To win,
Yeah. It's a straight money line.
I think I'd lean Birds.
If you're giving me even odds money line both
AJ
sides,
still
I'm
out though?
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
I'm
why I
going
have
Saints.
the Smith over 8.5 targets.
God damn it. Saints.
Yeah, it's tough.
Oh, they've got so much fucking juice
Hill.
right now.
I think Kubiak is just that dude.
He's automatic. Like, he should take Dennis Allen's job.
100%.
Like, what is Dennis Allen doing?
No, it's going to be like the same thing with Shanahan and the Falcons, where because I feel like the same thing was said about Shanahan when he came into the league. It was like, who's this random Shanahan kid? Like, just
Yeah.
making a fucking mess.
Like-
and then here we are with Kubiak. It just feels weird. It's like it's a random Kubiak.
What was
kid.
he for the Niners last
He was
year?
the OC.
Like, the straight up OC?
Yeah, I mean, it is Shanahan's offense. He's the one calling plays. Like,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of times that's the
It's just rare you see an OC go to OC. I didn't know if he's like QB coach or some
Yeah.
shit.
I think
No.
I think that like bubble a lot of times really varies though of like, oh, but since he's the head coach, he like the OC's just kind of like there. But I feel like me being in college, like offenses and defenses, for example, like in college, our DC was just as good as our head coach, but our head coach was the one running the defense, if that makes
Sure.
sense. I think the same thing can apply in the NFL very easily, where you could have a head coach that's a mastermind, but that OC could know like everything about that offense from front to back, like the cover and everything, and be just as good with his own team almost as the head coach. And I think we're seeing that like almost firsthand here with Kubiak.
100%.
Like-
I agree. That's why
I think it's just a big misconception that almost like, and I'm not saying like you or anything, but I'm saying just like a general population thing is like, oh, it's Andy Reid's offense, so Andy Reid's the only one that can like run it that way type of thing. When
for sure. I don't think I think Bobby Slowick is a good OC, but I think he had problems calling plays last year because that's not something he did in San Francisco.
Yeah.
I think Kubiak is just a guy who gets it more, and I look at the Saints as if they have just like a young Shanahan, a young McVay, a young LaFleur calling plays for them
just
right
like
now.
the next thing.
I really think Kubiak is 100% going to be a head coach next year. 1,000%.
But it won't be for the Saints then.
That
maybe.
sounds probably like the most unknown coach. Like if you had an average fan name a coach, I don't think anyone could.
I don't think they would know who he is either. I don't think of him as like any plus or minus to the Saints, but I don't think it really matters because he's not the one running the offense, you know?
Yeah.
All right. There's so many guys that could get an OC job. Like Slowick's going to get an offer. Ben Johnson's going to get an offer.
Yeah. I think there'll be a lot of
Like
vacancies,
Flores
though.
could get an offer.
Sure.
Going from DC to head coach.
But, like, you think about how quickly dudes lose their job in the NFL. Like, we could see
Doug
a
Peterson's
ton of vacancies.
cooked.
Yeah. He's fucking cooked. Eberflus is probably cooked. The Bears are going to be, like, one of the best spots to go to next year for an OC. There's going to be a ton of
Imagine, like,
openings.
Ben Johnson, like, goes to, like, the Bears.
Canales, they might get rid. Like he was probably just a bridge.
Maybe. I could also
No,
see them
Canales
hanging
is, like,
on.
locked in, I feel like.
Think so?
6 years?
But like,
one-year deal?
But even guys like Dayball, who I kind of like, but it's just not going to work out for him in New York.
Yeah.
He could go. Saleh could go. You know.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. All right, last game we have here.
Antonio
Seems like an
Pierce.
absolute blowout.
What?
Oh,
Last game we have here feels like an absolute blowout. San Francisco versus the
I
Rams.
think the Niners fuck them up. Like
really?
bad.
That'd be nice. I mean, I don't think the Rams right now have
Yeah, 6-year
the
contract
horses
for
on
Canales.
offense. What's up?
He signed a 6-year deal, Dave.
I mean,
Maybe.
they could get out of it though.
Yeah, hypothetically, yeah.
I
Sure.
feel like most coaches sign like 6 to 10 year deals and then they
No,
just
yeah. I feel like Frank Reich did the same shit. So.
yeah. Anyways, but this game, like, I don't know if the Rams have the horses on offense to keep up with the Niners. Their defense is obviously like
They are the
fucking
most
terrible.
depleted fucking team of all time.
Yeah, and even as a
Stafford's
Niners fan, I'm
not
kind
gonna
of.
finish the year.
You don't think so?
No.
No.
This is going to be, what was it, 2022 all over again, where you just played like 5 games? Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I was like really in on the Rams to be honest this year.
It's just the injuries, like, and there's nothing you could do about it either. I think Puka getting injured is the most like stupid shit, which sucks because it's like a preseason thing that lingered. They played him in week 1, cooked,
Yeah,
and it was like,
but I mean, their O line was like I think sneaky good going into this year, and that's fucking
demolished.
decimated.
Their defense demolished. Secondary gone. Nobody's fucking
Like
left on
Aaron
this Rams
Donald
team.
got out at the right time.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. Aaron Donald would have been sadly healthy and then had to suffer through this. But yep, that's the last game we have for today. Make sure you use code BDG when you sign up on Underdog to take these plays. Make sure you enter on Pickett. Go BDGE when you sign up. It's absolutely free. You'll be entered in a $200 giveaway, which will be awesome and sick. You can follow me on Pickett at Nick Guthrie. You can follow Jameis Stain at Jameson. And you can follow Tony at Tony No Dimes, No Dizzle. And you can follow Nick at Nick Orcolano. And we will catch you guys next time. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Big smoochies.
Ravens -1 for the rest of our lives.
-1.
Just straight up win the game.
Just fucking go win.
Don't go 0-1.